hands here. Okay, you can sit, you can put your legs here.
Good.
You can use your hands here. You can use your hands for rowing. And you use your hands back. Then you remember, and you always want to balance. So you turn around, facing here.
That's a good size for you.
Yeah.
So then you just.
And so you're always, once again, stability through the trunk. And you can pull, you push, and you pull. Then you can do pullovers here. Usually we start people with the sled without any resistance.
Without any resistance. So that means this will be taken.
You can take the band off, and you can progress them after they can do the band, so they get the idea. You would drop this down so it's on a hill.
Yeah.
So we can see the
Some
Gary.
effect of gravity.
Yeah. So you just, did Gary show you this part here?
Yes,
You pick this up and that drops it down. Now you're working up on a slope. Okay. If you want strictly to work hamstrings, okay. This is one thing we had Gary request for Gary to put up for us. Is to put your feet over the end here.
Okay.
And then you pull with the hamstrings.
Oh,
And
okay.
you come back down. And then you get concentric and you get eccentric. And you can do one hamstring at a time. Okay. You can do them lying. You can do them sitting. Okay, and here you're forced to pull with the heels. So it's an excellent way of working the hamstrings here. And not
Those hamstring injuries.
yes, and for knees, especially your ligament repairs, hamstrings are a very important component here. And sometimes it's very tough to find a variety of hamstring exercises to work on that really isolate the hamstrings well.
The other question is how aggressive you are in providing this treatment. When do you put the patient in sick if they have knee injury?
We can start the patient here as soon as they can start putting 10 pounds of weight on their leg, because you can put them flat here and start them in a very controlled range. You can use the
One band?
You can use one. You can use no bands. You can use the light TheraBands that we have, and which will give us you another degree of lightness of resistance to push against here. So as soon as they're available to start putting some weight on the leg, you can start them here in a weight-bearing position. You can use the strap to limit the range of motion that you want the sled to move. So if they only have 60 degrees of flexion and you don't want them to come in here, then you put the strap on so that when it gets to their knee of 60 degrees, the sled stops and it won't go any farther, so you can block it at that point. So you have right now with
This is the strap.
here's the strap.
Range limiting
Yes,
strap.
and it works extremely well. We've set up here now so that it's limiting pushing back. We can put it around the other direction here,
And control the fraction.
and so you control the flexion. Exactly. It fits right under here.
So you can use it as a fraction extension
Yep, you
limiting
actually-
device.
Yes, and you can put it in any position that you'd like. So you can limit the range to protect that. If they have a stiffness and they're just not quite ready to get into that range, you can limit that range.
In that sense, you can put the patient as early as possible on this system.
Yeah, as soon as they can start to tolerate some weight through there.
About 10 pounds.
10 pounds? Yeah. And if they have problems holding it there, you can use the foot strap that Gary has to hold it in there, and that works extremely well. And then they don't have to worry about holding their leg, but we can start to gain a sense of weight through the foot and the knee and the ankle here.
You can do some partial weight bearing.
Yes, because, yeah.
But do you see some maybe contraindication where it's definitely a no-no for the patient to come on to the to do this close kinetic chain exercise? Because some of
I
the
would-
sport medicine doctor asked me, do you see what's the contraindication where they should instruct the PT not to put the patient on this?
You want to watch if they have a back problem and it's a hard time getting them on and off of the machine. Okay, maybe getting on and off will create a problem with the back.
That's when they.
Yeah, how stable are they? Can they get onto and off of the equipment? If they're,
So in that case, they should not be placed on the system.
no, there's other things they can do differently. This has so many varieties, I'm having a hard... Heather, can you think of any contraindications for putting somebody on this in a closed chain? If they can start weight bearing, they can start being on this.
Oh, yeah.
I think if they can start weight bearing,
Like
they
you say,
can
about
start
10
on this.
pound, you know.
Yeah, well, you could even do, 10 pounds is, even
Even
with
if
their,
they have some a little bit of swelling.
well, then you have to use your common sense. You know, what, if they're, this is actually gonna put less compression
On the,
on it than they would be standing, because now you're horizontal and you're not, gravity is not pulling swelling down into that area. You can certainly position the leg into different positions. You can assist it in being held in the position you want. I think it's very excellent if you have people that you want to get some closed chain activity, but they have a weight-bearing limitation, because you can certainly measure how much weight they were putting on this. You could put a scale here and have them push on the scale. And say, oh, there we got 25 pounds there. That's as much as you want to be pushing.
okay. Yeah, excellent. Yeah,
And that's a very easy way of measuring. I think I'm a little hard pressed to find a contraindication if they're weight bearing or toe touch weight bearing, because you can limit the range of motion which they have to move at. You can limit the
good control environment.
Yes, you have a very nice control there. You can put the pad in different positions.
The reason I raise this is because
Yes.
I'm not a clinician
Yes.
like you are. So since this is a question raised by the clinician, so
those
I
are
suppose
great
the
questions.
best thing is we go to a clinician who has experience using this to help answer the questions. Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks. Thanks a lot. We appreciate it.
And then like you say, this is just limited by your imagination. And we've done some things straight ahead. We can do
Like
lots
putting
of things.
A ball here.
Yeah, sideways,
Mm.
like this.
Exactly.
You hang on up here, and you. See, now you're getting your shoulders and trunk
rotation.
sideways. Yeah. And then, so you can change. You have an infinite number of variables you can change. You can do one arm, two arms, cross arm, both arms crossed. So I think, it's a very versatile piece of equipment here.
Thanks a lot.
Anything else?
I think that's about all. These are the main thing because in Malaysia, very few people use a lot of equipment for closed kinetic chain. So when I first introduced this concept of functional closed kinetic chain, they kind of get a bit apprehensive about its application.
It works extremely well.
Because in my country, people still use a lot of mostly concentrating on open chain.
Open chain.
They put them on the quadricep bench. And they do a little extension, knee extension. But I've been here since yesterday evening. I've been to some clinic. I hardly see this type of equipment like a quadricep bench. I haven't seen one. Yeah, in the clinic I've visited thus far.
They find that a lot of, when the chain is closed, the response works towards stability at the various joints here. And the reaction
Opposed to an
response.
open chain.
Yes.
Makes sense to me.
Now I can also let you talk with Heather, who's our athletic trainer here, and see if she has some other input for you here, okay?